The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel is an American period comedy drama streaming television series created by Amy Sherman-Palladino that premiered on March 17, 2017 on Amazon Prime Video. It is set in the late 1950s and early 1960s, and it stars Rachel Brosnahan as Miriam Midge Maisel, a New York housewife who discovers she has a knack for stand-up comedy and pursues a career in it. It also stars Alex Bornstein, Michael Zegan, Marian Hinkle, Tony Shalhoub, Kevin Pollak, Caroline Aaron, Jane Lynch, and Luke Kirby. The pilot episode received critical acclaim, and the series was picked up by Amazon Studios. The second season was released on December 5th, 2018, and the third on December 6th, 2019, and was renewed for a fourth season on December 12th, 2019, but premiered on February 18th, 2022, due to production delays over the COVID-19 pandemic. It has since been renewed for a fifth and final season. The series has received critical acclaim and won the Golden Globe Award for Best Television Series Musical or Comedy in 2017 and the Primetime Emmy Award for Outstanding Comedy Series in 2018, with Sherman-Palladino receiving the awards for Outstanding Directing and Outstanding Writing at the latter ceremony. Brosnahan also won the Primetime Emmy Award for Outstanding Lead Actress in a Comedy Series in 2018 and 2 consecutive Golden Globe Awards for Best Actress in a Television Series Musical or Comedy in 2018 and 19. Bornstein won the Primetime Emmy Award for Outstanding Supporting Actress in the Comedy Series twice consecutively in 2018 and 19, and Shalhoub won Outstanding Supporting Actor in a Comedy Series in 2019, and Kirby Outstanding Guest Actor in a Comedy Series for his role as real-life comedian Lenny Bruce. In developing the series, Amy Sherman-Palladino was inspired by childhood memories of her father, a stand-up comedian based in New York City, and an admiration for early female comics such as Joan Rivers and Totie Fields. In June 2016, Amazon gave the production a pilot order. The pilot episode was written by Sherman-Palladino, who was also executive producer. It premiered as part of Amazon's Spring 2017 pilot season on March 17, 2017. On April 10th, Amazon gave the production a 2-season order to be executive produced by Sherman-Palladino and Daniel Palladino. Now, of course, this review is about Season 4, which has just been recently released. We had to wait 2 years from Season 3 due to the pandemic, but boy, it was worth the wait. Now, this is one of the most stunningly quick-witted and beautifully shot show I've watched in years. From the beautiful costumes to the spellbinding sets to the magnificent script with brilliant acting, this show is absolutely beautiful. There are parts that will leave you laughing out loud, and there are parts that you just can't help but smile at, intertwined with some incredibly poignant moments too. The characters are incredible, as well as the stories, and you're taken back to the 50s with Midge and her massive family, plus her agent, Susie Maisel, played by the magnificent Alex Bornstein of Family Guy fame, who has some of the best lines in the show, but you have to listen oh so carefully, as her sarcasm and dry and blunt wit roll off like a howitzer gun. Then we have Michael Zegan as Joel Maisel, Midge's estranged husband, who leaves Midge for his secretary in Season 1. He's an aspiring, though untalented stand-up comic who copies Bob Newhart's routines. Joel quits his uncle's plastics company and ends up working at his father's garment factory. I didn't love him at first, in the first few seasons, but by Season 4 he adds to the show perfectly, and his rapport with the rest of the cast, and particularly now his new flame, Mei Ling, played perfectly here by Stephanie Zhu, is wonderful to watch play out. Midge's parents are played by the brilliant Marian Hinkle of 2.5 Men fame and Tony Shalhoub, who's in the best role I've ever seen him in. He's always been a background actor, good and quick and quirky, with incredible versatility, but maybe with the exception of Monk, he was one of those character actors that always played a brilliant role, but just in the background. You just sort of accepted that he was there. Here, though, he is absolutely stunning as Abe Wiseman, Midge's father, a mathematics professor at Columbia University and a researcher at Bell Labs. He later begins a new career as the theatre critic for The Village Voice, while Marian Hinkle is perfect as the neurotic, pedantic and overly intense Rose Wiseman, but oh, I love her repartee with her husband and daughter. It's just a must-see to watch play out. Then we have Joel's parents, the Maisels, played here by Kevin Pollak, showing his comedy range, and Carol Erin with the amazing deep voice. I love when the families get together and their quick back and forth conversation. It's amazing to just watch as you're taken on this journey with the Maisels and the Wisemans, and you can't help but laugh as the quick interplay is just stunning and natural, as if they were a real family, just talking around the table. One of my favourite characters has to be Sophie Lemon, played here by the brilliant Jane Lynch, a successful stand-up comic who uses a fat suit and chic gimmicks to portray a frumpy, uncouth housewife from Queens in her act. In reality, she's a rich, snobbish Manhattan socialite with refined tastes, and Lynch's dry delivery is just perfect for this role. She's mesmerising in it. Then, of course, we have the fantastic Luke Kirby as the real-life Lenny Bruce, a well-known New York City comedian and close friends of Midge's. He has some of the best lines in the show, and I just love the dynamic of his relationship between him and Midge. It's serious, it's funny, it's poignant, and their untouched chemistry is just perfect on screen. Then, of course, we have the star of the show, Mrs. Maisel herself, played here by the magnificent, stunning Rachel Brosnahan. Rachel owns this role and is perfect in every way as the confident, vibrant, smart and witty, sometimes overly stubborn, Mrs. Maisel, a woman trying to be a comic in the misogynistic 50s era. Now, I had only seen Rachel in a small role in House of Cards, but here she lights the screen with this stupendous portrayal as Mrs. Maisel. She deserves all the accolades she is given as she carries the show around with the rest of this phenomenal cast. Mrs. Maisel is an incredible show and hasn't lost any of its shine in 4 seasons. Frankly, I'm just sad season 4 had to come to an end, and I cannot wait for season 5, although knowing it's the last one ever is also quite sad. The show is a visual feast. You get transported back to the glamorous 1950s, and what more can I say about Midge's clothing? It's absolutely spellbinding. In this season, she now works at a burlesque parlor where the choreography and set design are groundbreaking and the use of colors absolutely stunning. From the heavier, more dramatic scenes to the fantastic humor-driven dialogue, there is never a dull moment. The show is made with love and passion by all who either direct it or act in it. I just love the rapport and repartee between all the leads, and you actually forget there's a script involved. Their banter is hilarious as it rolls off the tongue, and you have to listen ever so closely in case you miss the next punchline. And let me not forget to mention the fantastic soundtracks, some of the fantastic, beautiful jazz ballads to the big band sound of the 1950s and 60s. It just adds to the show perfectly, as well as the use of more modern songs at the end of every show, which add perfectly to the show's theme. If you want a fun, quick-witted show beautifully made with such stunning style, then this is the show for you. Season 4 was as brilliant as all the other 3, and I cannot wait for Season 5. The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel gets a 9.5 out of 10.